Do you know of any dealerships that took out a CRM, put a new one in, and jumped 50 units?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. A dealer once said to me, he said, Rob, I can spend $100,000 here, or I can do this. I don't spend it selling more cars. What he was trying to say is he was comparing what he did when he was a traditional ad guy and understood what, and then now what he's doing digitally, he still sells the same amount of cars.
Right.
So,
well, that comes back to the whole. I mean, there was a whole post that Spizak did on this about we were selling 10 cars per salesperson in 1970, 1980, 10 cars per salesperson, 1990 sell 10 cars per salesperson. Now we're in the 2024. We're still at 10 cars a salesperson. You know, why?
Welcome to the Old Guys No Shit podcast in Dealercast Studios, where we bring together decades of automotive knowledge, all together in one place. Here's your host, Old Guys Who Know Shit.
Hey, what's going on, Dealercast Nation? I am Jason Harris.
And I'm Rob Mudd.
And I'm Larry Bruce.
And this is the Old Guys That Know Some Shit. No, shit. We know shit.
Some shit.
Podcast.
Shit.
Just keep saying it.
I think it's because we just like saying the word shit.
Scheißen. Shit in German or something.
Old guys that know for shizzle.
For shizzle.
Shizzle vizzle.
That'll be another t-shirt we'll come out with.
Oh, God.
If you want the alternative version.
Here's the alternative version. We know for shizzle.
How you guys doing? What's going on?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I heard it's like 72 in Houston right now.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I'm good with it, though.
I'm sorry about the Georgia Bulldogs.
I don't want to talk about that.
That's why I said I'm sorry.
We will not be
Gee,
talking.
you know how to like stick it to him, don't you?
Well, I mean, I know how to shut them up, obviously. Just talking about Georgia Bulldogs.
Just all of a sudden his face just. Well, hey, everyone out there watching, listening, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. We got a great subject. It is CRM. Good God, y'all. What's it good for?
Absolute nothing.
Say it again. Bring it on down now. Okay, that was a horrible impression.
But we only practiced it once.
One time.
One take.
was it.
One take, baby.
That's it.
One take.
One take. Good God, y'all.
Almighty.
No, but seriously though, it's like, look, I love when good intentions are there, and I don't think there was ever a bad intention with the CRM. I don't think anybody just said, hey, Mr. Salesperson, I'm talking to you over there. Why don't I just give you something that's going to exponentially increase the amount of crap that you have to do on a daily basis? Like, I don't think the intention was necessarily to do that. I think it was good intention.
The intention was to replace the 8x8.
8x card. Well, it was there,
cars.
and then it grew. Then scope creep came in, right? Scope grew, and now it was, hey, what did they come in off of? What advertising did they come in off of? And then it grew. Then it grew even further into, well, let's turn it into a desking program, and then it grew even further. Okay, let's make sure it bidirectionally integrates with the CR with the DMS and push that. I mean, it grew into more of a operational application than it was. It right now, most CRMs are more operational application than they are CRM.
I'm with you, but I feel like they've spent more time adding these new features, yet actually not modifying the core feature of the entire bloody product.
Well, just solving the problem.
Yes.
Yeah, and they want to be sticky. They want to control everything, and so that's what the ads are on. I'm assuming.
About control.
Yeah, I mean,
or you won't get rid of them.
Taking out, if you can't now, it's kind of table stakes to push into the DMS. And table stakes to have a desking program in the CRM, even though the desking programs don't solve or really make desking any easier or any better or any it's not helping gross profit or doing anything else to help the sales manager or the desk manager know any more about how to desk a deal than he would from a CDK or from your rental system.
I just use a plain piece of paper, like Ziegler taught us.
Well, yeah, but you got to calculate the payment. Yeah, you got to calculate the payment in there, and then so at the end of the day, they added these things, whether or not it was intentionally to be sticky, but it became sticky.
Well, and they keep adding more and more to it. I mean, look, like I said, guys, we've gone from Rolodex to now AI-driven systems.
Well, but are they AI driven? I mean, I have
The
not
plugins, the little, when you start talking about language sediment analysis, and you start talking about like actually feeding up like real language or better language that actually sounds more like a human than a computer.
That's AI supported.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. AI. Oh, I said driven, but maybe the keyword should have been supported.
AI supported. I mean,
and
you're pretty in the pig.
I think the objective is to go more AI driven.
Right,
but to your point, right now it is more AI supported.
Yeah,
The objective is to be able to push a button and it does everything and you make money.
But is it though? Is it?
Yeah.
Or here's what I feel like the objective of a CRM should be, is to tell me where I should be spending my time to be the most efficient at my job.
Yep.
Right? Like I want to know where, like, who and where do I need to be spending my time to be more efficient? And I think, the more proactive solutions out there are heading in that direction.
Do you ever think that technology gets too microscopic?
In like what sense?
That you can drill all the way down to how much air you're breathing? I mean, that the answer is in another drill down.
Well, yeah,
The
I mean,
answer is another
we saw
drill.
that with DealerSocket, right? I mean, DealerSocket like literally analyzed, if you scratched your nose or picked your nose during a conversation, how that affected the actual outcome of it.
Assuming that you input the data.
If you
Correct.
inputted the data, I mean, they had a field for it. That doesn't necessarily mean it got inputted. Did you pick your nose during this deal? I want to know.
Yeah.
But no, to your point, I mean, right? I mean, that's what a lot of people got turned off, with DealerSocket there for a while. It's just because it was just, analysis or paralysis
Paralysis by analysis.
There you go.
I mean, well, at the end of for these pretty in the pig uses of AI, I push a button, it makes my text better. I push a button, it makes my email message better. Okay, still requires you to push the button.
Yeah.
Still requires you to first even write the email.
Well,
you
yeah.
got to write something in the email and then say,
Then I'll
here,
make it better.
Then here, make it better. And you're going, okay, you didn't. Can you tell me what should be the context of that email, or how should the construct of that email go? Where should the personalization be? What should be the opener? What should be your offer? I mean, did you have all that in there? Hell no. The dealer, the salesperson wrote an email. He said, make it better. You made it a little bit better. You didn't add any of these other things in because you didn't have any of the data either. From your AI perspective, and all you did was use generative AI to restructure a message. That's not, yeah. We are definitely going to use
There's going to be a T-shirt for this.
Yes. That's this. That's the jazz hands thing for sure. So they didn't. The problem isn't CRM. The problem is
people that work on the CRM.
no. Its problem
Or
is
for the
sales
data.
process automation. You don't want CRM. What you want is a system that will tell a salesperson, you need to follow up these people today.
Well, and I think
And then tell you, did you do it? And then what do you intend to do next to move this ball another 5 yards down the field?
That's
to
the hard
point.
part right
Yeah,
there.
right.
I can tell you what I did in the past, but to tell you what I'm going to do in the future is
Well, you
another-
have to.
Well,
After
and-
I'm done, something had to come from. I reached out. Something had to come from that reach out. What was it?
And I think that's
answer
what
machine. I don't know.
Well, and I think that's what a new CRM really kind of has to do, right? Like, we've talked about this on a couple other shows where, if a technology is missing the mark, it's usually because the objective wasn't clearly defined in the beginning, right? For me, like, I want my CRM to really hone in on lead conversion, right? And I wanted to support customer retention and be able to measure actual customer. Not what my OEM says my retention is, what my actual retention is, And then lastly, I want a CRM that's going to help me find more revenue. That's going to say, hey, look, you did this, but you could have done that. That's one thing. Like, I had to do a manual report on how much money we should have made versus how much we did, because
Based
there
off
wasn't
what?
there was based on the discounting. So like if I did not discount a single product, how much money, which is the should,
Absolutely.
right?
Right.
And guess what? I couldn't find that in a CRM. I couldn't find it in a DMS. The damn report didn't exist, right?
I
So
just
again,
did that report myself.
right? Like it's like we should have made this, but we made this. Now, if we start talking about what are the activities to get to that point, that's where But
And what
again,
you'll
that's
find
not-
is
but-
that
but
there are
when-
little incremental numbers that add
little
up at
things.
the end to a big freaking number, right?
Right, but
And
what
they
you're
give-
talking about here is desking, not CRM.
Well, is it though? Because I'm managing the revenue off I'm looking at revenue from a specific customer, not necessarily
Right.
holistic. And am I maximizing my revenue opportunities with that individual?
If you're gonna talk about revenue opportunities, I mean, there's the car sale, there's F&I,
Yeah.
there's
The trade.
the
Accessories.
There's post sale, no sale.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, that's if I didn't sell them a warranty, can I sell them a warranty later? Can I if I'm in the space of insurance to like automobile insurance, which many dealers are, can I sell that other model?
That's another one.
Can I sell
Yeah.
that automobile insurance? And then there's service retention. Can I keep this customer in service, or is there a way to get this customer to come in for service if they're not naturally going close enough to really be? There's somebody between me and him.
Yeah.
And that person, right? That's one way of increasing revenue, and that's looking for revenue opportunities within the transaction itself. Then there's how much money could I have made if I would have maximized the sale of that vehicle.
Yes.
And how much did I make? And that's what we're talking. That's what I heard we're talking about earlier. It's like the price of this vehicle was $25,000. I sold it for $22,000. I lost $3,000 in the discounting process.
Sure. That's
And-
one aspect. Yes.
Right. So, that's a desking thing. That is back to, again, these little
But the
bitty
problem with
things-
the desking tool is it doesn't have the CRM information. So I don't know how well they serviced with us. I don't know if they own other vehicles.
Well, but it's
with
not
us.
just that. But
It's like that
just
data's not
technique.
there.
But it's technique. One of the best desking techniques I ever gave to my managers, I used it myself, is instead of when you go to discount or you go to negotiate a payment.
Sure.
Instead of going the next 6 months, go in 3-month increments. Right.
Yeah.
So the customer wants to be at 350, go put them at 359, but instead of 60 months, make it 63 months. That actually picks up $500 in gross profit.
Yes.
That right there. Right. Then if you want to go, if they need to be if they have to be at 350, well, then ask them, can you go to 64 months and get to 354?
Or can you give another G down?
Because you can go odd number payments
Yeah, you can.
on most lenders.
Most lenders.
Right.
yes.
Right. So, but that's a technique that you either have to be taught or the system has to suggest.
So okay. So then the question is like, is our frustration with the CRM because it doesn't do it all, or is our frustration with the CRM is that it's not communicating with the other systems that do I have to have multiple systems, or should I expect one system to be the complete solution?
Remember when we were in high school and some guys had a Pioneer stereo,
Oh yeah, I was that guy.
and then there were guys that had components,
Yes.
right?
Components.
And so the full stack is a little more tougher or more expensive. The
Yep.
components is piecemealing it together.
Yes.
In today's world, you want to be the stack and not the component.
I think for
If you can do it.
for what we're talking about right now, I think we definitely need to move towards two core systems: my sales process system and my DMS.
Well, and that kind of begs the
Well, that's
difference.
kind of always been the case.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to get it down to two systems. I'd be all for it. If I could get everything down to two systems, that'd be freaking phenomenal, right? But again, I just I don't think if our objectives are in line, we're ever going to get to that place, right? Like, I mean, people don't look at their CRM and go, well, that helps me generate revenue.
No, they look at it today and they said, does it facilitate my sales process?
Yeah.
That's what they want it to do.
Process
But that's-
management?
Right. Well, it's when I take a deal, when I start to write up a deal, does it print my form? When I print my form, when I do the negotiate, can I desk from here? When I desk from here, can I finish my desking process and push it into my DMS? Then can my DMS pick it up and do the F&I program?
Sure.
That's what if you I can't tell you how many dealers that you have told me before in the past. Well, do you integrate with you push into CDK? Oh no, if you can't push into CK, we're done. It wouldn't matter. But ma'am, this will help you sell 20 extra cars a month. If you
Okay,
can't
well-
push into CDK.
But tell me this: why then doesn't CDK create the components that are needed to integrate vertically with your stack?
Well, first of all, you understand that things Rentals CDK and now DealerTrack /dealer.com,
Yes.
right? These companies do not innovate.
Okay.
They don't.
I mean, they should think about it.
No, they won't. No,
Can we just take a moment to talk to all the companies out there? I
Right.
just want to have one message for you right now: is innovate.
They don't. They won't. And it's not. Look, it's not. Look at most of the large companies but look, Facebook doesn't.
Well, okay. Well,
Facebook doesn't innovate either.
Well, they go and buy
look at
things
it. Look
that
at it.
they
Look at a
don't wanna
CRM, right? That has innovated in some ways. They just sold for $1.4 billion.
Right.
I mean, the money's there. Go innovate.
They didn't. So they don't necessarily innovate. They are in a spot where they're making enough money where they don't need to innovate. They can just buy the innovation.
Well, that's fine as long as the innovation integrates with their system.
Well, yeah, but
But
then,
9 times out of 10, it
doesn't.
well, I mean, to CDK's credit, they did eventually get eLead integrated. Whether or not that was the best solution to buy at the time, it might have been.
What about the Cobalt transaction? Did they ever get that done? ADP and Cobalt.
Okay, well, I'm
Oh
glad.
no! Hell,
I'm glad-
Cobalt crashed, and they said ADP ended up selling it.
But that's a good point, though. I mean, look, I'm looking at my CRM to fulfill the data needs of not only my sales, my service, but also my marketing department. I should be able to
That's
look
your
at all of
CDP.
that.
Absolutely.
That's not your CRM.
Yeah, you're.
Isn't the CDP just a glorified CRM?
No.
Shouldn't it be?
If you add sales process automation on top of it, it could be.
Right?
Right. Now, what is missing at that point is the desking application and the data push, the forms management and data push into that finishing of that deal, right?
Because that's what's going to drive efficiency and personalization.
Right. Yeah. All of this out here is, no CRM today has very good floor management.
Sure.
Okay. No CRM today.
They use check boxes.
Yeah. No CRM today has really any good call management solution.
Sure.
They have great lead management because they were all born. Most of them were born
call
out of lead.
analysis
Right.
solution. Yep, sure.
I mean, I'm not even talking about call. Just call integration. Just let's just do the basics. Yeah. When an inbound call comes in, make sure it's already in the CRM, and you know who took the call. Mm-hmm. Let's just really basics, right? Forget about whether or not you recorded the call, transcribed the call, summarized the call, put the transcription of the call and the recording all in the CDP. Forget about all that, the really hard stuff. Let's talk about the easy stuff.
But we're saying the easy stuff, but there are non-automotive CRMs that have gone way beyond that and will even score and analyze the language and the sentiment of the conversation.
Yeah, but they don't do it by themselves. They do it by integrating with another company.
But it's all it's seamless. It's in one place. I'm not going to multiple products to get this information.
Yeah, you're not going to multiple products to get that information, but you're paying two companies.
That's fine as long as the two companies talk to each other.
I agree.
It is until you tell the dealer this. For example, the one that just got bought for $1.4 billion. Mm-hmm. In order to get what you just talked about done, you got to pay them $4,500 a month, and you got to go play Car Wars another $4,500 a month. So your CRM is now $8,500 a month. Your DMF, it's $9,000 a month. I thought I said four.
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
bumped you.
So 9. You bumped me. Good, sweet.
Wow, that's some fat fingers right there.
That's awesome. I got bumped. I love that. So now you're in at $9,000, right?
Yep.
Your DMS cost you $4, $5.
So that's 14.
Yeah. No. Your DMS cost you $5, and now you're paying double that. Should you? I don't know.
Well, I guess if that's what's having to be done right now to meet some of these objectives.
But then I got the call tracking, and then what am I going to do with that call tracking?
Mm-hmm. How do I activate the data that's being collected?
If I don't do anything with the data, the call tracking, the sentiment, and all that stuff to train my salespeople to make them better,
yeah,
is it useless? Yes. Right. So and that's not CRM. What you're talking about right now is sales process automation. It's not even CRM.
The only reason I keep pushing back that it should be the CRM is because for decades our industry's been telling our team that we need to be a culture of CRM.
But
that the salesperson
CRM
needs to live inside
represents
the CRM.
Customer.
Well, the acronym may
relationship
need to change, but I'm just saying it's just like, it's ridiculous. We couldn't get our teams to commit to utilizing one system, so the answer is to try to get them to utilize 4 different systems.
So it all comes down to the management and what they expect and what they inspect, right?
Sure.
So if
Well, and
Inspect
this
what you
was
expect
going
or get what you're told.
that actually goes into my next point, because I think what we're talking about streamlining the lead management and follow-ups with automation, and some are there, some of them are using to be able to integrate other desking tools and other tools into it. I don't know. It's just like, is this leading to something that's more efficient or just inefficient because we're having so many?
Well,
to
me, it's inefficient because if I go into
So the current model right now is inefficient. That's what we're saying.
Right. Yeah. Well, the current model is not only inefficient, outdated, antiquated. It's horrible.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just be done. I mean, even the most recent CRMs, Vin Solutions, not really, I guess, the second most recent CRM, Vin
Sure.
Solutions. Have you ever gone in there and tried to set up their quote unquote workflow?
yes, it's very
For
difficult to do.
God's sakes.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, why do I need all these workflows, and who the hell's going to follow them?
Yep.
Okay, whoever came up with that. That was the silliest thing ever, right? I mean, what do I want to do?
It was based off the third-party lead guys that had us push
Yeah.
HTML leads back into the
Yeah.
CRM, and then you got, how are we going to track it and get credit and put it in the right bucket?
It's so infuriating, right? Because I guarantee you the person that built that, or the person that engineered that, or the product manager that did all that spent 0 time in a dealership.
For sure.
Probably.
How many, do you know of any dealerships that took out a CRM, put a new one in, and jumped 50 units?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. A dealer once said to me, he said, Rob, I can spend 100,000 here, or I can do this. I don't spend it selling more cars. What he was trying to say is he was comparing what he did when he was a traditional ad guy and understood and then now what he's doing digitally, he still sells the same amount of cars.
Right.
Same-
Well, that comes back to the whole. I mean, there was a whole post that Spizak did on this about we were selling 10 cars per salesperson in 1970,
Yeah.
1980, 10 cars per salesperson, 1990,
Yeah.
sell 10 cars per salesperson. Now we're in the 2024, we're still at 10 cars a salesperson. Why? I mean, here is the reality. Okay, if you are a 150 car store and you want to follow up on every person that you need for repeat and resell business, and you want to follow up on every current lead, and you want to take advantage of and follow up on every current call, and you want to follow up on every one of your every floor up and every basically you want to follow up on everything you're supposed to do as a salesperson, right? And you have, it doesn't matter how many salespeople you have. This is what you want
It's
to have.
impossible.
And you want to sell cars, right?
Yes.
And you want to do all these things. You're going to have roughly 60,000 conversations a month. 60,000 conversations
Divided
a
by
month.
10.
Right. Divide that by your salespeople. Comes out to about 5,600 conversations a day. The very best guys can have very best BDC people who are dedicated to doing nothing but following up can have 60 conversations a day, meaning you need 94 BDC people.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's just not.
And a payroll of about 7 million. You hook it up?
No,
Of course you're not.
No.
Right? So it's a matter of capacity.
Well, and it's also a matter of perfection, right? Nothing's perfect. And when you chase perfection all the time, we qualify this. We should strive for excellence. To expect perfection isn't reality.
Well, no, don't let perfection get in the way of good. Right. I mean, the reality is that these guys need to get down to where, again, they are handling the most hottest customer at the time, the person who's closest.
Well,
to
and if you look at non-automotive CRM products, All right. That is what all of their automation, machine learning, AI, whatever you want to, the combination of all the above, all right, that is the new objective with most non-automotive CRMs.
We have Salesforce. We have Salesforce.
It's to tell you where to spend the time on the ones. Now, do you have the full set? Like you have their full AI on all of it?
No, we've got the Lightning one, and what we started with the point I'm trying to make is that Salesforce was built the way Salesforce built it. Mm-hmm. And when you go into Salesforce and you then have to reconfigure it to fit your business, then you got problems. And I don't know anybody that can plug in Salesforce and it works, right? No. They can't do it.
Yeah, you have to go buy Salesforce developers to come in and develop it.
Or hook up on their preferred vendors, and
then you don't own any of it.
No.
You're completely tied to them. And you're there forever now.
Yes.
I mean, that was the stickiest. Benioff, this was probably the most brilliant move ever.
Yep.
You can customize it, but it all stays with us. And if you leave us, all your customization that you spent all this money on.
That's every CRM, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, no, I mean when you plug in.
It's not like a website provider when I trade when I get to take my old content.
Yeah, you plug in eLead. eLead's the same eLead for every dealer. There's no customization to eLead.
No.
You plug in.
I'm saying when you switch,
you plug in
DriveCentric.
DriveCentric. You plug in DriveCentric. DriveCentric's the same DriveCentric for every dealer. There is no customization to DriveCentric. Yep. Okay, there are these workflow things. You go build these workflows flow things into Vin Solutions. Okay, you lose them. Okay, big deal. They weren't working anyway, and I didn't use them. I lost nothing, right? So you go put in dealer socket. It's the same dealer socket for every dealer. There is no customization because really the car business is very simple.
Simple.
Yeah. When you take a call, I want you to take the call. I want you to document the call, and I want you to follow up.
Yes.
But then they've made the CRM difficult because of the people, whoever owns them, started layering on things that it isn't as simple as what you just said.
Right. Well, no, it is.
I need to go out and record a video for them. Then I need to get that video approved by my manager, and I got to send that out to them. And then I have 7 days of follow up that my CRM has already pre-programmed 27 tasks for me to do on that individual for the next 7 days.
And what did I do? If you've got 3 levels of that, you got the one guy who does some of it and then quits.
Yeah,
that's the best level. Right. Okay. This is that. Well, it goes downhill.
Think about
here.
2 or 3 attempts.
It goes downhill from here. Right. Then you got the guy who goes in. This is the worst guy. Okay. Then it's the second level. He goes in and just checks off that he did everything.
Yes.
Right. Didn't do shit. Didn't do any of it. But he checked off that he did it all. And then you got the guy who just says, "Fuck it. I'm not even going to check anything. I'm not even going to bother to do anything." You want to know why? Because my sales manager's not going to look at any of this anyway. So I don't care.
So that brings me back to the guy selling 50 Fords a month with his gal that helped him do it. That was a profession for him.
Yeah.
Right. The guys you're talking about just described, that's not a profession. That's a job.
That's a job, right? But for 90%,
that's actually a really good point. All right, given the same tools everybody has. All right, those that choose to make this a career,
right?
And I was the same. I mean, I was consistently a 35 to 45 car a month person, and and I spent I didn't stop talking from the moment I showed up to the moment I left, right? Like, and if there wasn't someone to talk to,
shut the fuck up.
I was looking for someone to talk to. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, if somebody wasn't there in front of me talking, I was on the phone talking to someone. If I wasn't on the phone, then I was replying back to an email. Like, it was just, you showed up to just maximize the entire day and make a real
And the
career
funny
out
part
of it.
about all this is back to more conversations equals more sales.
Right.
Well, that's
right.
That
is the activity that you want.
Core. It's the core of everything, right? It's so crazy.
So if I want to maximize, because this goes to my last question for you guys, is if I want to maximize the ROI on a solution like that, then that needs to be the North Star of that solution is, put me into more conversations. The more conversations I have is the more deals I get, right?
But how do you determine ROI too? That's another podcast because I agree with it, right?
From on the CRM side, I would tell you right now, I would 100% today say that you determine ROI on what's the lift per salesperson. Can I get from 10 to 12.
Yep.
Yeah, how many more
12.
meaningful
How many
conversations?
more- How
can
many
help you get
more
into?
sales can a salesperson make with my CRM? In other words, how much other low-level conversations is it automating, or is the AI taking care of, to where my salespeople are having the best conversations with the best people, thereby selling more vehicles, freeing them up from this other stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only litmus test that
Yeah.
you could be looking
And
at.
we do see some solutions out there. There are, a handful of products that are heading that direction. You have Stella, you have Brook, you have Numa, you have Matador. Like
Stella and Numa are focused on the service department, because there's a lot less.
Again, it's the same thing. The more conversation.
Well, Numa's filling a hole where, and it's a hole that needed to be filled, right?
Sure.
I mean, where you're missing calls to your service department. That's a bad experience. Number one. I think they filled it wrong, but that's just my opinion.
Well, you got other companies like Active Engage that are doing it. They're using people rather than tech. You have like there's a lot. See, here's the funny thing: is the CRM kind of chose to not do this, so then it created a whole other industry that I call CRM superchargers. Because that's really what they're designed to do. They layer themselves on top of the CRM to supercharge some level of activity. Right?
Yeah. Well, Active Engage comes in. They've got the digital up.
Yeah.
And they're trying to turn the digital up into a conversation, and then but they stopped there. And Ted, I've had this conversation with Ted. You needed to go one extra step further.
Well, to
see if they show up.
I get
Yes.
it. I get it. But that always kind of comes down to, it's like, at what point do you just end up taking over the dealership and you just say, "I'll sell the freaking car for you"?
Well, but you turned into a lead generation system. You had the digital up, and the digital up's supposed to take it to the take it to.
Yeah, but I also believe that people do the very least to get paid.
Well, if their pay structure is
what I mean by that is
way.
the digital folks. In order to convert, you got to get down to the floor. And if you don't know that they're on the floor, how can you help a guy sell cars?
Right.
I mean, that's, to me, is just blows my mind that you don't know. If an agency doesn't know how many people are walking through the door, how can they help you sell more cars?
Well, yeah, but that's back to, we almost made it, right? COVID came along and almost got us to the point where we would do this all online, and the digital guys would win at that point. That never materialized.
No.
And it was never gonna materialize.
Never.
But they thought they
needed something else to sell.
No, they thought they were there. I mean, you had the digital retail guys. They all thought we were there.
How did that work for Carvana? Maybe I shouldn't even bring that up.
Well, I don't think that's what did them in.
No, it definitely wasn't what did them in.
No, far from it. Actually,
now that is another podcast.
Oh man,
for another time.
Yes,
that definitely needs to happen. But we're gonna wait a little bit to see the dust kind of settle, so we can really get into it. Because I think right now, if we jumped into that topic, it's a little early. It's something that can be speculation. But that
I don't know. I think that report.
But anybody's got 44% of their units are underwater.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that report was fairly thorough.
Yeah, but I want to get
a little more thorough than the Garcias we're looking for.
Yeah, well, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Yeah.
Well, there's never a dull moment in the automotive industry. Let's just say that, right? Like, and this is one of the fun things about doing this podcast with you guys, is that there's never a lack of something for us to talk about.
No.
This industry will do an amazing job to just continue to give us crap to talk about.
Yeah.
Guys,
the bottom line is CRM's dead.
Yeah.
CRM is dead. These
in its current model, it's dead.
And these legacy systems, all of them. I'm not even going to name them. They know who they are. These legacy systems, it's over. Okay, the business needs and will get something much better. It will happen. It has to happen, because the efficiency, lowering ad cost, and getting efficient in my ad budget, getting efficient on my floor is not just needed. It's necessary to survive.
Right.
Of course.
Right. It's going to happen.
Well, if dealers are 33% less profitable,
right,
they got to do
you got to
something.
do something.
Well, and you do, and you need to be looking at all aspects of your operation.
But a prettier system.
There's no. I know.
A prettier system to do a prettier system to do the same crap just got bought for $1.4 billion. It's.
We'll see what that does to the industry.
I mean, what do you say to that? You basically stifled that. You killed that, and you killed the innovation there. There will be no innovation out of that
because of the money that they've received.
But yeah,
okay, well,
they'll go try to buy it.
Nuts.
They'll now go try to buy it like everybody else does.
Yeah.
So in that article about dealerships down 30% in profitability, that means that they were raising the MSRP 33% to get back above.
Well, I think in industry it was almost something along that lines.
Yeah, they basically it's the jewelry thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 50% off. I'm going to raise it 50% and give you 50%
And that's
back.
where you started when you started with your
all the way up here, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I'm just giving you back your money.
Yeah. Unfortunately for the dealers, though, they added layers of expense.
That's always been happening because somebody somewhere convinced the dealer that a salesperson couldn't have a conversation on a phone, couldn't have a conversation through email, couldn't have a conversation through text. And I'll just say it again. Bottom line is, if you can't converse through email, phone, or text, you need to go find something else to do.
Well, you're right. And
you're not a salesperson.
You're not a person. I mean, how would you know that can't talk on the phone or text?
It's silly for a dealer to say my salespeople can't converse over email, phone, or text. They can only sell cars.
Then why did you hire
somebody?
them?
Said, yeah, what?
Well, that goes to like the old one of like, my customers know more about the cars than my salespeople do.
That's bullshit.
What? Why? Like, how could you allow that to happen? It's a training. Again, another good
because
podcast.
Grant Cardone told everybody they did.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, guys, I know we're towards the tail end of our time. This has been a fun conversation for everybody out there watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. We'd love to get your thoughts and opinions as well. Please share those down below. We thoroughly enjoy reading those. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. If you like this content and you want to see more of this content, hey, Larry, where can they see more?
They can see more at thedealercast.com. TheDealerCast.com.
That's the first time you spelled that out.
I know. I
kind of like it. I mean,
Did you
is
like
the
it?
part the or the
yeah.
the Ohio
Dealercast.
State?
Oh, shut up.
No one's going to hear from Larry for the next couple of weeks. Hey, for everybody out there watching and listening, we really appreciate you taking the time to do so. One of the biggest compliments you can give us as content creators is to share the show. All right? If there's anybody out there watching and listening right now that you feel like they need to be a part of the conversation, share the show. It means so much.
Hey, I got an idea too.
Yes.
Why don't we have people who want to be guests on the show
Okay.
fill out a form, and we can then bring them in, teleprompt them in, and they can be a guest.
As long as that information goes into our CRM.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
Larry's in charge of that. Larry's already in charge of that.
100%.
As long as
You got to
that
make it into our CDP.
Got to make it in
baby.
our CRM.
Yeah, if you want to be a guest, just say you want to be a guest. Put it in the description. Send in the note.
Yep.
And we'll call you up.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll put you in our CRM.
We'll
Guys,
get your
Right here.
data.
I'm gonna write it down.
Guys, this has been a blast. Really appreciate the both of you and everyone out there watching, listening. We appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Old Guys Know Shit podcast with your host, Old Guys Who Know Shit. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.